Am I the a-hole for not wanting my dad to walk my sister down the aisle? Firstly, hi. I debated posting this for months, but it's really grating on me. To the point I actually think I'm the a-hole, and I am fully prepared to accept I am. Let me start by background. I am 27F, my dad 64M, and stepsister 36F. Due to no fault of my dad or me, we didn't have a relationship for the better part of 16 years. We didn't connect until I was 18. And in the last 9 years, I've been daddy's princess. He's my first call, aside from my OH, when anything happens. He met my stepmom and subsequently her kids when I was 5. But at that point, they were all older. The eldest two moved out of home, and just my sister at home. So, it could be argued he was more of her dad than mine for 20 plus years, while I've only had him for 10. Anyway, my sister is getting married in the next year. And we all assumed that she would ask her biological father or brother to walk her down the aisle, who with both she has a really close relationship with. She didn't. She asked my dad. Me and my dad were both shocked by it, and I probably had it written on my face as my OH tapped me and motioned I was making a face. My dad happily accepted, and everything went into planning mode. Later that same day, we were told that while all my other nieces, nephews, and spouses would be attending, I would have to attend it alone. Again, not my wedding, so just nodded, but made an excuse to leave with my OH and kids. A few days later, my dad called me and asked if everything was okay. I just said yes and left it, but he pushed back and said he knew me better. So I was honest and said it kind of stung. He was walking her down the aisle, as I thought that would have been a unique and special moment between me and him. He laughed awkwardly and said yes, me too, but he's getting up in age, and if I'm not quick, he won't be here for me at all. He also made a comment that despite how badly she had treated him and used him, she's older now, and they're closer. I let it go, but it still hurts. I also asked him why it was only my partner and kids not invited to the wedding. He wasn't sure entirely, but had spoke to my stepmom about it. From what I understand, because my partner and brother had a disagreement 2 years ago, she doesn't want my partner there. Important to note, it was over watching rugby or football, and they was laughing by the end of the night. And because my kids are the youngest, they'd be a hassle. Which again, fine. Not my wedding, but it's just my family being excluded, so felt weird. I told my dad, very clearly, I don't think I'll attend the wedding. It feels wrong to go for 3 days. We don't live local, so I'd have to travel and leave my family out of a huge event. My dad understood, and that was that. Well, he must have told my stepmom and sister, because I was hit with a flurry of phone calls and voicemails saying I'm selfish and spoilt and need to get over sharing my dad already. I just sent the recordings to my dad and said, I don't want a part of this. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or rude, but it was how I felt. Now it sounds like a lot of my dad's family that had been invited are no longer attending because of my dad accidentally sending the recordings to an auntie, the family gossip, who in turn may as well have played them on a loudspeaker at a family gathering. I'm now being told I've spoilt the whole wedding and need to fix it. I don't know how except to tell family, which I have. To not pull out on my regard, I made a choice that works for me, my partner, and kids. But they feel it's wrong that we've basically be excluded for petty reasons. When it also transpires one of my cousins is bringing her kids that are younger than mine, and by all my family's accounts are worse behaved than mine. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting my dad to walk my sister down the aisle? AITA. I'm going to try answer some bits I saw in the comments. My stepsister was 15-16 when my dad came into her life. They was not close, as I've been told by both her and my dad. She wore all black to his wedding with her mum and called in funeral attire. They became close when she had her eldest daughter. My eldest is diagnosed with autism and second-born is a toddler who currently has a few behavioral issues. But so do 3 of my other relatives' kids that are attending/were invited. Had it just been my kids, she asked me not to bring, I would have happily with no complaints asked my in-laws to have my kids for the duration and gone. But it felt weird going alone without my partner and kids. I didn't mean to make the facial expression I did, and I did say sorry when I realized. I also had no intention on ever mentioning it or doing anything about it. As it's her wedding, her choice, it's just how I felt. I have met her bio dad, and he seems nice. He's been to other family weddings, BBQs, birthdays, and stuff. They've always been close as far as I know. My mom withheld contact between me and my dad between 2 and 18. I am no contact with her, this being one reason. I screen recorded the voice messages off my phone and sent them to my dad with no other reason other than, I'm not doing this anymore. He forwarded my message to my aunt. I think that about covers everything. If anything happens/changes, I'll come back. But I will also take on my raging daddy issues and go back to counseling.